Romans chapter 8 and 31 says, "What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us?" I want to give our praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Harakah, Quadash, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutes to all 144,000 elect out there. We are coming back at you with another one. So, yeah, man, if God be for us, who can be against us? Taken from Romans chapters 8 and 31. And it's a question. What shall we then say to these things? Question mark. If God be for us, who can be against us? Question mark. Alright, man. There you have it, Akim. End of video. But let's carry on. Let's carry on. Because there's question marks, and we're going to answer these question marks right here. We're going to answer the questions, right? Because who can be against us if the Most High is against our enemy? If he's for us, then he's against our enemy, right, man? We're going to hit a couple of precepts. Our victory in a Mashiach, right? The victory is in a Mashiach, Yahushua, right? You Christians call him Jesus. That's where the victory is. When you go to the subheading here, deliverance from bondage. We're coming out of bondage slowly. It's on the Most High's time. We're going to say slowly, but it's on the Most High's time. 1,000 years to us is one day to the Most High. So yeah, we're going to say slowly, but it's not slow to the Most High, but slowly, in our case, slowly but surely, we are coming out of bondage. Let's hit another one here. Romans chapters 8 and 16 says, "The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh." So there's a reason why I'm bringing out these precepts. There's a reason why one of my fresh off the press vision that I had. And we're gonna go in a little bit on this vision. Nothing complicated, nothing heavy, but I just remember it because it was last night, man. And in the 60s and the 70s, the 80s, there was a time when Jake, over here in the mother of Babylon in England, there was a time when Jake, if you was in the wrong place, so to speak, wrong place, wrong time, you might have got let me say, how do I say this? You might have got Ametilled. And that was over here. Definitely in the 50s, but in the 60s and in the 70s and in the 80s. If you was in the wrong place, wrong time, you might have been on your own, or maybe just two of you in the wrong area, right? You might have got chased, man. So this vision I had was maybe I was meditating, thinking about it a couple of times when we were chased. Yeah, me and a couple of my people, them back in the day, we were chased by the so-called white racist people, the NF, National Front people. We were chased, and there's stories people that have told me that they've been chased by National Front that used to drive around in white cars, white vans, covered up white vans, and that there would be a group of white people in the back, and they would come out and chase them with batons, baseball bats with spikes coming out of it, all kinds of weaponry, and most of the time they got away. The ones that didn't get away, they was on the news, they was either seriously injured or deleted. So I had that dream last night, and I felt good because I woke up and it gave me an idea of what's coming down the pipe. They used to chase us. Yes, that there was a time then when we always used to be chased. Right? If you think about the Jim Crow era, especially over there in America, the post-slavery, the lynching, the castrating, the alligator bait, the transatlantic slaves being thrown overboard to the sharks, in the boats on the bottom of the ships, the ship called Jesus. In the bottom of the ships all clamped together like sardines in a sardine can. We were chased, and if we got caught, we were brought over to Babylon, certain places around the world, to be enslaved. For those of you that saw the 12 Years a Slave movie, I still ain't watched it, and I don't care to watch it. You know, I don't need to watch things. You know, that's not my thing to watch. I don't need to. I've seen it. I've seen enough. I've seen enough of that kind of stuff in real life, more or less near enough. So that's why I read this precept. So I was walking through a particular area. I was on my Jack Jones. I was on my own, and there was a whole heap of white people. And I walked through, and I tried to go underneath the radar, but they spotted me, and there was about at least 6, 7 of them. And but there was something. The scripture says Isaiah 59 and 19 says, when they come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. So they all surrounded me, and I knew in my mind, Yehovah Hashem Yerushai going to deliver me. And I was able to just levitate. When they surrounded me, they all surrounded me. First there was some eye contact. First they gave me the eye contact. Then they all came together and ganged up on me, surrounded me, and I just said, Yehovah Hashem Yerushai, and I just levitated on top of some roofs. You know, those kind of garage roofs. I levitated on top of a garage roof, and they was surrounding the roof, and I was on there, and I must have been saying some kind of Hebrew words. Yeah? Words uttered in its pure form has much power. So I knew I was surrounded, and the only way out of it, why I read that precept here. Right? The only way out of it was to be delivered by the Most High. When they're coming like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. And that's what happened. The Most High came to my aid. He came to my aid. Let me bring out that precept, since I've been going in and talking about it. Keeps on coming up, so I'm going to bring it out. Isaiah. Isaiah 59 and 59 and Isaiah 59:19 says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So I was surrounded by these racist National Front or BNP in an area out of my comfort zone, and the spiritual power kicked in, the standard kicked in from the Most High. The enemy surrounded me, and the Most High lifted up the standard against them, and he gave me spiritual power, and I was able to levitate out of their reach on top of a roof, but I was still surrounded by them. They was waiting for me on top of the roof. They couldn't get there, because anytime they would try, I would lick them down, push them down, or had some way. They just kept going away. I kept kicking them down or pushing them down, and they couldn't come and get me. They couldn't get me. I was too high up for them. But then I had to think, and bearing in mind, if you think about the movie The Matrix, when Neo didn't quite fully have his spiritual power, when he was going up against the agents and they was coming against him with the guns. This is not the end of the movie when he had the full power, but this is in the movie when he was gaining and getting an understanding and not too sure if he was the one or not. And he was on the roof when the agent was firing bullets at him, and he was dodging. He dodged them all. He done that lean back thing. He done the lean back. He dodged the bullet. Then he dropped. Then he got up, and then Trinity came up to him and said, "How did you do that? You move like they do. I never seen you." I never seen someone move like that before. You move like an agent. You move like so fast, dodging the bullets. He said, yeah, but I didn't do it, I didn't do it fast enough. So he was only coming to the understanding that the spiritual power was there, but it wasn't full on yet. And then Trinity said when the agent came right up to them with the gun pointing at him, pointing the gun at Neo, the agent came right up close and pointed the gun at Neo, and Trinity blasted him. He said, dodge this. And then they blasted the agent, and the agent disappeared, transformed back into its shape shift out of that individual that he shape shift into. Because you can't really kill the agents, at least not at the beginning stages of the movie. You couldn't kill the agents. But when Neo the power fully kicked in, right? The power fully kicked in, and then he realized he didn't even need to dodge bullets. Neo recognized he didn't even need to dodge bullets. He can stop bullets, and then not only could he stop bullets, he can go up to the agents and go right into them and then explode them into bits. So that was the end of the movie. When he realized the power fully kicked in, not only could he stop bullets, he was able to delete the agents. Stop bullets and then eventually deleting the agents. And that was the end of the movie. But so back to the vision. The spiritual power didn't fully kick in, or I still didn't have that 100% faith. If you have faith the size of a mustard grain, you can move mountains. But it was a testing, trying time for me. So that's what's going to happen. That's what happened in the vision. But then while I was on top of the roof, let me end the vision now, and then we're going to hit some precepts explaining this vision, Abu Ratazar. While I was on top of the roof, they was trying to surround me and trying to get me. They couldn't. I was trapped up on top of the roof, thinking, what do I do? What's my next move? And then my next move would have automatically been just to either just deal with them if I had full spiritual power, or think of some way out. I didn't really want to go that route. But then next thing I know, I had a whole heap of crew coming. Whether there was angels that came to my aid, because a similar thing did happen back in the day, where people came to my aid when I was surrounded by, there were times when you had to firm up. Let me just say it like that. There was times when you had to firm up. If you went into a certain area, you couldn't just go on your own. You had to have a firm with you, a posse with you. So that my posse came to my aid in the vision, and we got them, we dealt with them, and I came and I confronted them. I came down off the roof now because my posse came to my aid. Bearing in mind, I knew I had spiritual power, but I was still coming to the understanding that I had it, and how I was coming to the understanding of the right way to use it. So when my posse came, there could have been angels in this vision. There could have been angels. And got them and said, what you want to do? I said, and I just said, let them go. I was going to go up to one of them and punch one of them in the face, because the angel could have hold him for me and I would have punched him in the face. But for some strange reason, I let them go. We outnumbered them. So more things like this gonna happen. More things like that are gonna happen. This is gonna happen. Let me carry on. Let me get back to the precept. Isaiah 59:19 says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith the Lord. And this is just one vision I'm talking about at the moment. I've had similar visions, and I don't make mention of all of them. But I've had very similar visions to this, what we're talking about now. Very similar. So let's hit some of these precepts now, what I got lined up. Because I've had visions where I've actually stopped bullets, I've actually stopped guns, I've actually gone up to enemies. Some cases they're racist white people, but sometimes in some cases they're ninjas. I've actually gone up to people and have took their weapon away from them, slapped them up in their face, punched them up. This is not this vision last night, but other visions I've had, which I've spoke about them, some of them, and I've just unleashed spiritual power on them. Leaped over walls, as David said he was able to do. Leaped over fences, leaped over walls, gone up to them, two of them, took their weaponry, thumped them up, and let them live, sent them on their way. So more of this is going to happen, right? We're talking about the time of Jacob's trouble. This is future. This is what the elect are going to be doing. The real superheroes, as the elders and apostles say, the 144,000 warriors of Yahshua Allah, mighty men are back here. The 144,000 real superheroes are going to get busy. And if I talk about meditating terror, if I told you how many times I meditate terror a week, words would I wouldn't be able to mention it. Words would befall me. Words couldn't come. It happens a lot. Let me just say that. The times I meditate terror. So Psalms 107:20 says, "And he sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destruction." Yeah, if God be for us, if the Most High be for us, who can be against us? All right, Romans 8. So here we got the similar sentiments, different wording. If the Most High be for us, who can be against us? Yeah, his word. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destruction. All right, now jump down to 38. He blesseth them also so that they are multiplied greatly, and suffereth not their cattle to decrease. Right? If the Most High is for you, man, you know, you're gonna have an abundance. He ain't gonna come. The enemy ain't gonna come near you. Yeah, your livelihood, you're gonna be increase. Or another word is that where there's gonna be a time when there's gonna be a famine that's gonna come in, but Yahshua Allah, right? What happened with Elijah? He was fed by ravens. Also, Noah, while he was on the boat, when he was coming to shore, when the flood was deceding, the flood was deceding. He was coming to shore. A raven came and brought him a little leaf to let him know that soon he's gonna be there's land nearby. First, he sent out a bird, some form of a bird. Could have been a raven, but I don't know. Some form of bird. He sent out a bird, Noah, on the Noah's Ark in the time of the flood. He sent out a bird. The bird returned with nothing. Then he sent it out a second time. It returned with a leaf. So he knew he was going to be at shore very shortly. There was land. So we're going to be. So that showed that we were in league with the animals. The prophets were in league with the animals. Those examples of Joshua being fed by a raven and Noah communicating with a bird, some form of bird. Maybe it was a raven. But we were communicating with birds. Prophets can communicate with birds. Yahshua Allah going to be in league with the animals. So we're going to be in league because the Most High going to be for us. Who going to be against us? When they come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. Back to Psalms 107:38. He blesseth them also so that they are multiplied greatly, and suffereth not their cattle to decrease. Right? That's your cattle, your livelihood, not being damaged in any kind of way. Yeah, despite you hearing all these people going, what's happening in the deep south, the hailstones like golf balls meshing up their land, the tornadoes over there in Texas, Neo, and all those deep south areas, the tornadoes, and the one woman was watching it and she was filming it on her phone from a distance, and she said, "Look at that!" And it's on YouTube. She said, "Look at that! The tornadoes ripping their houses, lifting up their houses off the ground, shredding their houses. And I done a video on it. The Most High is visiting, paying the earth a visit. But his elect, right? Nothing's gonna happen to them. He's gonna when they come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord gonna lift up a standard against them. And if God be for us, who can be against us? As it's saying here, not even their cattle going to decrease. So we can look forward to that, right? In Jacob's trouble, however it's going to play out, Most High going to protect his elect, right? Touch not my anointed, man. Psalms 104:15. Touch not my anointed, and do my anointed, my prophets, no harm. Yes, right. So reading on, again they are ministered and brought low through oppression, affliction, and sorrow. He poureth contempt upon princes and causes them to wander in the wilderness where there is no way. Right? If you're on the wrong side of the Most High, yeah, you're going to be punished. You're going to punish you. You're going to afflict you. Again, I made mention of what's going on over there with the freak weathers that are damaging the enemy's houses. Predominantly the enemy are getting it. The wicked that had us in slavery in the deep south, in the same area, right? He's pouring out contempt upon them, princes, and causes them to wander in the wilderness. A lot of them that's what they're doing, because their houses have been wrecked to shreds where there is no way. Yet setteth he the poor on high from affliction, and maketh him families like a flock. Yeah, man. Yahshua Allah and our big brother, alright, our big brother Yahushua. There's more precepts we're going to get into to make the point. Yahshua Allah, Yahushua, the angels, Michael Allah, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael, the angels, the archangels going to come in when that time come, man. Right? It makes mention of Michael Allah, who is like God in Daniel chapters 12. Right? When they come in, he's going to set, we're going, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. If you do, the big brothers are going to come in, the angels. Yeah, the big brothers. I made mention of the archangels. They're going to come in because if you touch them, right? It's like you touch a man on his eyeball, right? You don't do that. You don't do that. So, reading on. Yet setteth he the poor on high from affliction. Yeah, man. When they was surrounding me, back to the vision. You know when you get them kind of visions where you just sense like a bad eeriness, and you felt the eye contact. And I've actually been in situations very similar to that in the past, and the Most High delivered me out of those situations in the 70s, right? And I've had a couple of testimonies on them, and there's a lot more things that the Most High is bringing back to my memory, things I've escaped from. Living over here in the Mother of Babylon, a real racist area where I used to live, a real racist area, not too far from a real racist area. Yeah, so he set for the poor on high. He delivered me, right? Back to the vision, and that was a very symbolic. There was some symbolism in that vision because they surrounded me, and I just said in my mind, "Lift off, levitate," and I levitated right out of their midst, out of their grasp. Out of their grasp onto a roof, and they couldn't get me. And then they wanted to get me, and I just kept kicking them off the roof. They couldn't get me. And then next thing I know, they were surrounded. They surrounded me, but they were surrounded by potentially angels. Angels, man. Back to the vision, big brothers. Back to the reality, big brothers and friends. The posse. Which here we're talking about the angels, the archangels. They're going to come and surround us. They're going to surround our enemy. Because if God be for us, who can be against us? Reading on. The righteous shall see it and rejoice, and all iniquity shall stop her mouth. All right, man. We're going to see the enemy go. We're going to see them fall. All right. And we're going to be laughing. We're going to be feeling good. All right. The righteous shall see it and rejoice, and all iniquity shall stop her mouth. So it's going to be, it's all going to come to an end. The oppression of Yahshua Allah. When the Most High lifts up, when they come in like a flood, the Most High going to lift up a standard against them. Who is wise and will observe these things, even they shall understand the loving kindness of the Lord. Yeah, man, that vision was fresh off the press, still fresh in my mind. Let's read this. Ezekiel 25 to further drive home the point. Ezekiel 25 and 12 says, Thus saith the Lord God, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. I can make mention of a time when I was in a certain area where I was called all kinds of bywords, and just without going into all the nitty gritty, cut a long story short, I chased back on those two brothers, Edomite brothers, and their Mosai deleted them. He deleted them. Yeah, it may have been couple years later. He deleted them. They're deleted, right? So now they know who they are, and maybe potentially know who they was trying to intimidate. Mosai put them. He deleted. Not only did he delete them, two brothers, two against one. Not only did he delete them, he deleted the whole family. He deleted the pups too. 3 of them he deleted, right? So let me read it again. Thus saith the Lord God, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast. Yeah, right. It happened this was in the 80s. This was in the 80s. This was in the late 80s, in a particular area, when I was confronted and I was called byword names. I'm not going to say too much, but this happened. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom. Right? He deleted 3 of them. Right? And the father had nothing to do with it, but he deleted the father as well. Upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it. Right? The Mosai said, "What are you mad with the animals? Are you mad with the sea?" See, when Yahweh's angry, that's another level of anger, right? Did he really need to delete the whole family? But here we're talking about mine hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast, right? Because when you think about the tornadoes and hurricanes and earthquakes and all that, when he deals with the family, the houses, the livestock get deleted too. Was it a couple years ago when over there in Australia, when there was a fire in Australia where the kangaroos got all burned up too? Their national animal, their famous animal, the kangaroo, the dingoes, the sloth, the koala bears was all getting burned up a couple years ago when there was a fire in Australia. So the Mosai, when he takes vengeance, he goes. I ain't gonna say he goes all the way, because if he went all the way, there would be nothing left. But he can delete the animals as well. The dingoes, the crocodiles, the trees, the koala bears, the sloths, all those other national animals that Australia is famous for. He deleted a lot of animals as well as the land was scorched up. Alright? Cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. Right? There you have it, Akim. Mosai's vengeance. Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. Yeah? Last one. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people. Yeah, he's going to use Yahshua Allah. Right? He's going to rise us up, man. He's going to lift us up out of the dunghill, and we're going to take vengeance for him. They used to chase us in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and the 50s for sure, but definitely in the 18th century. Yeah, the Jim Crow era, the post-slavery, the lynching, the castrating, and all of that. The woman cried grape and they would burn down Oklahoma and others, Black Wall Streets and others, because one Edomite cried grape. They would burn up the whole place and Jake. So they used to chase us, we're going to be chasing them. Alright? My people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord. Kala Yahweh. Ba'ashem, Yehoshai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. They used to chase us. Right? Now here's some examples how we going to be chasing them. Leviticus 26. Right? When they seek to when they're going to seek peace, we're going to start chasing them. Right? They're going to seek to be peaceful where we ain't going to be peaceful. The Most High is saying it's time. The time has come. Yeah? And I will give peace in the land, and they shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will ride evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before ye by the sword. Right? They used to chase us. That's Galatians 6 and 7. Whatsoever a man soweth, that he should also reap. Right? I'm just laying back off the vision I had fresh off the press last night, fresh in my mind. That's why I'm doing this video today. Leviticus 26 and 8. And 5 of you shall chase 100. Right? That's what happened. There was more than them, but we had them by the short and curlies, man. We had them. Right? Because we're going to have the spiritual power. We're going to be back locked in and in tune back with our power. And we're going to be chasing. We're going to be doing the chasing and the catching. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. And that's what's going to happen. Right? Because we're going to remember. The Most High is going to put it back in our memories, and we're going to remember what you used to do to our ancestors, which are us coming back. Our mothers, our fathers, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our children, what you used to do, play football with their heads, kick off, they put them in the ground and kick their heads off and all of that. Right? Everything that you used to do, we're going to remember it. And also I'm going to put it back in our minds to remember. So let's get to Joshua now, and we're going to end with this one. Joshua from the top says, and it came to pass a long time after that the Lord had given rest unto Israel from all their enemies round about, that Joshua waxed old and stricken in age. Right. So here's the decree, what was given. Joshua was kicking ass left, right and center, and he was given an instruction. He was given some instruction to pass on. And Joshua called for all Israel, and for their elders, and for their heads, and for their judges, and for their officers, and said unto them, I am old and stricken in age. Right? Now he's going to pass. He's saying his situation. He's saying, now you guys are going to take the baton. Right? Reading on. And ye have seen all that the Lord your God hath done unto all these nations because of you. For the Lord your God is he that hath fought for you. Right? Talking to his understudies, or those that are going to take the baton. He's old in age. Reading on. Behold, I have divided unto you by lot these nations that remain to be an inheritance for you, for your tribes from Jordan, with all the nations that I have cut off, even unto the great sea westward. And the Lord your God shall expel them from before you, and drive them from out of your sight, and ye shall possess their land as the Lord your God hath promised unto you. Right, man? Because you know Joshua was a fearsome warrior of the Lord, a mighty man of the Lord, a man of valor, and a prophet or a judge from Yehovah Hashem Yoshai, sent to defend his people Israel. Right? There were 144,000, and we're back here. Yeah, most likely Joshua's back here too. You understand? Reading on. That ye come to not among these nations, though these that remain among you neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause you to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves unto them, but cleave unto the Lord your God, as ye have done unto this day. For the Lord hath driven out from before you great nations strong, but as for you, no man hath been able to stand before you unto this day. One man of you, here's the point, here's the kicker, one man of you shall chase 1,000, for the Lord your God is he, your God, he is it that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you. Right, that's the point. One man of you shall chase 1,000, for the Lord your God is he that fighteth for you. One man chasing 1,000. And that's coming the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Some of it I witnessed it. My own testimonies. I've made mention of some, but there's a lot more. Most I was putting them back into my memory, and I'm remembering them. So they used to chase us, and we gonna chase them. I woke up feeling good though. The memory of the vision fresh in my mind. I woke up feeling good in my local area. We're gonna be chasing them. They chased us, and we're gonna be doing the chasing not long now. And the catching. If God be for us, who can be against us? One man of you shall chase 1,000, for the Lord your God is he that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you. In his promise, that's a promise. The Wadati Bashima Shaf, the Spirit on me to do this video. Just one more thing, we're going to end it off. Romans 8 and 31. Some of the translations says, what then shall we say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? NLT. What shall we say about such wonderful things as these? Question. If God is for us, who can be against us? What then shall we say in response to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? Yeah, once upon a time they chased us, and they did chase us, and they had us in slavery, and then they had us in post-slavery in the Jim Crow, and then they had Alligator Gate, and then they had and if you read the book without Santry, a lot of things they did. So they chased us, and that's what I'm going to title this video. Soon we won't be doing the chasing and the catching. The word at you about Shimon Sharp on the Spirit on me to do this video. Shalom to all the sincere Akyam. Until the next one, we're out.